I'm guessing that as someone who, as you said, falls into the category of being a bit of a policy wonk, a nerd, loving the data, all of those things, I'm guessing that you have some very specific ways that you have thought about how you will know if you're having the impact you want to have in the world. Because this whole area, I often talk to people about the fact that good intentions aren't good enough. We can make these grand statements of, I'm going to impact this area or create these outcomes. But if we aren't actually clear on how do we know if we're trending in the direction, some of these big shifts are going to take a long time, so we can't just be looking for quick wins. How are you thinking about the actual measurement and the way to get confidence of whether what you're doing is working and getting you towards that goal of 1 million Black women millionaires? What does that look like within your business?
Yeah. So it really looks like, at the end of the day, looking at the data, like really being able to quantify how many lives are we touching by what we do? What are the results of their interactions with us? That looks like not only sort of having clients per se, but literally keeping data about the progress of their work, and seeing, and in the interim, sort of really being very keen around making sure that we are making adjustments, data-driven adjustments all along the way, to ensure that we continue to improve, and we continue to give them the guidance that they need in a marketplace that's always shifting, right? That's always another challenge around the corner, that at each step of the way that we are giving them the support, the guidance, the information that they need to succeed. And so for us, it's really just about being data-driven. And I will say one last thing, it's also been very inspiring to me to see the degree to which our message and our reach has reached women internationally. And so that's something that we're looking to this year be a lot more intentional about, with regards to really focusing on how do we reach out to women across the world with this message, and how can we in some capacity be able to support their entrepreneurial growth, because we know this issue of women in business ownership is a trending issue, not just on these shores, but quite frankly, all over the world.
And I'm curious about one thing, Dr. Avis. When we speak about abundance and we talk about some of these tendencies historically to actually not have had those things modeled to us, or to have been in scarcity previously, was there an element for you in your business journey as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, where you actually still were having to fight some of those battles of scarcity, of the discomfort to charge what you're worth? And what allowed you to make a transition into what you now model in terms of living that abundance yourself and setting an example for the customers that you work with?
Great question. And absolutely, the answer to that question is yes, there was a time. And I think it really starts when you first have your first customers and you see their reaction to what they've been exposed to. I think the confidence of seeing success in what you're producing gives you confidence to charge more. At least it did for me when I was first starting. And also seeing how much work it was to do what you need to do to get people the results. Then you're like, okay, well, really, I really undercharged myself. I think sometimes we have to learn the hard way like that. We charge really low, and then we put in the work, and then we really do the math in terms of how many hours we put in and what we charge. And we're like, are you crazy? You would have been better off at McDonald's. Exactly. Great minds think alike. Yes. So you only have to make that mistake once, at least in my mind, and before you say, okay, let me go ahead and charge appropriately, because I'm putting in a lot of work. People are getting great results. Let's make sure that this thing makes sense.